A heartbreaking separation. U.S. citizen children deported with undocumented parents, claiming medical neglect and human rights violations. A family's harrowing ordeal has sparked outrage and a formal complaint, highlighting the devastating consequences of the U.S. immigration system's impact on families with mixed immigration statuses. The complaint, filed by the Texas Civil Rights Project, TCRP, with the Department of Homeland Security's Office for Civil Rights and Civil Liberties, OCRCL, details the alleged abuses suffered by a family, 2 undocumented parents, and 6 children, 5 of whom are U.S. citizens, before and after their deportation to Mexico on February 4, 2025. The family's journey began innocently enough. On February 3rd, they embarked on a trip from the Rio Grande Valley to Houston, seeking vital medical care for their 10-year-old daughter at Texas Children's Hospital, a journey they had undertaken numerous times previously. However, their journey took an unexpected and devastating turn. They were stopped at an immigration checkpoint and subsequently detained. The TCRP's complaint alleges a series of egregious violations of the family's human rights. The most alarming claim centers around the alleged denial of urgent medical care for the 10-year-old U.S. citizen daughter. The complaint asserts that despite the child's critical need for treatment, her medical needs were systematically ignored. This alleged negligence raises serious ethical and legal questions about the responsibility of the U.S. government to protect the well-being of its citizens, even within the context of immigration enforcement. Further compounding the family's suffering, the complaint details the deplorable conditions in which the children were held. The 5 U.S. citizen children were subjected to inhumane living conditions, lacking the basic necessities and dignity deserving of any human being, let alone U.S. citizens. The description paints a picture of neglect and disregard for the well-being of vulnerable children. The complaint goes beyond the immediate medical and custodial concerns, highlighting the profound violation of due process rights. The family alleges they were subjected to a pattern of abuse and humiliation, an experience that leaves lasting emotional scars. This alleged pattern of abuse constitutes a serious breach of their fundamental human rights. The family's deportation raises further questions about the Trump administration's immigration policies, which actively targeted families with mixed statuses. The policy, championed by former border czar Tom Homan, allowed for the deportation of entire families, regardless of the citizenship status of individual members. This policy forced parents to make the agonizing choice between remaining together and being deported, or separating from their children, a cruel and impossible dilemma. The TCRP argues that the family was presented with precisely this impossible choice, a choice no parent should ever have to make. The TCRP's complaint demands a comprehensive investigation by the OCRCL. They are calling for an immediate inquiry into the alleged medical neglect, inhumane conditions, and violations of due process. Furthermore, they are urging the DHS to grant humanitarian parole to the undocumented parents and the non-citizen child, allowing the family to reunite and access the necessary medical care for their daughter. The mother's heartbreaking account to NBC News, detailing the lack of follow-up care for her daughter since their deportation, underscores the urgency of this request. This case is not merely about the deportation of a family. It represents a profound failure of the U.S. system to protect its citizens and uphold fundamental human rights. The alleged actions of Customs and Border Protection, CBP, raise troubling questions about accountability and the ethical implications of immigration enforcement policies. The severity of the allegations demands immediate action, a thorough investigation, and a commitment to ensuring that such violations never happen again. The fate of this family, and the broader implications of their ordeal, serve as a potent reminder of the need for humane and just immigration policies that prioritize the safety and well-being of all individuals, regardless of their immigration status. The international community is watching, and the world is waiting for a response that reflects the values of justice, compassion, and the protection of human rights.